crap.
So you told us that there was a lie and it wasn't.
That's the lie. I climbed Mount St. Helens when I was 16. I'm from Washington State. That was cool. That was a cool experience. And my parents were serving at LES mission in South Australia, and my wife and I went there in November and held a koala. And that is like, if you need mental health help, hold a freaking koala. That is the coolest experience ever. So, So there's the better half of the family. My wife, Amber. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today, honestly, in so many different ways. And then our 3 kids. We love Mexico. That's where we kind of escape when we need to break in life. We love to travel, and so that's one of my hobbies there. You'll see a couple things. If you have, I mentioned that there's 2 trigger sheets. The yellow one's for you to keep, and then the white one's what we're going to be pulling for prizes. I've got a few prizes up here. And then the QR code's how you can connect with me, take a business assessment, and connect with me. So I've been in the menswear retail business for 15 years. 3 years ago, I purchased the Cater Shop menswear store from my parents. And then I acquired Levin's Clothing, which is in downtown this last year ago, this February. And then in July, I purchased a brand of ties called Bombora, which is a board short vibing type of a brand of ties. And then I decided that wasn't enough things to do in 1 year, so I thought business coaching and consulting would be something I would really want to be involved with. And so that's what I have here in this chapter is the business and consultancy. When I purchased the Cater Shop, I got a business life coach. That was Les was so generous to give me that great review. Thank you, Les. And when I acquired the business, he asked me, now that you have this machine of a business, the Cater Shop running, like what kind of life do you want to live, or what are you going to do with this? And I said, I don't want to work Fridays, I don't want to work Saturdays, I don't want to work after 4 p.m. I want to coach all my kids' sports teams, and I want to go to Mexico whenever I want. And he looked at me and was like, okay, well, we've got some work to do then. So with that lifestyle in mind, I had to put in processes and procedures and to allow me so that I could be focusing more on the business and not be stuck in the business. My dad was very much in the business guy when he ran the store, and I just knew that that's not the life that I wanted to necessarily have, having 3 young kids, and so I knew I had to professionalize the business in some way. Being a small business owner, local, 1 location, I had to figure out a way to professionalize the business. So he suggested that book, How to Grow Your Small Business. You guys have seen that book, and I actually have extra copies. So if you want a free copy of it, I do have copies today that you can come grab. If you're visiting, you're more than welcome to come grab the book. But Les suggested this book to me, and I took the business assessment that was in there. I started reading the book, and I couldn't put it down. I would read it, and then I would stop. I'd take notes. I would implement the processes that I talked about on how to grow your small business. And for the last 3 years, anytime I talked to other business owners, I'd be like, oh, you have to read this book. It's so cool. Like, it's so simple. And what I realized was, oh, you can actually become a certified business coach under their curriculum to teach their curriculum and to have this whole setup. And I was like, that's exactly what I should be doing because I'm already talking about this book and how awesome it's been and all the different things with how to grow your small business. So that's what I decided to do this last July was to take it more seriously and build upon creating an actual business for coaching. My main core is retail. Obviously, I've been in it for 15 years, but the principles apply across all business types. It's not just retail. This applies to every kind of business that's out there. What's interesting is I have a vision board set up in my office, and there's a picture of a man standing in front of an audience speaking, probably at some kind of like motivational event. And I feel like I spoke this opportunity into existence by having that vision board. I've never had a vision board, but I started one a little bit while ago, and it was cool to be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something that's on this vision board, which is consulting and teaching, which is actually my true passion. I really enjoy connecting with business owners. I love talking about what they're facing, what I'm facing, how do we improve our businesses, the real stuff that we all face in life, right? So I'm super excited to be doing coaching as an actual business and not just as a hobby. So what the heck do I offer as a business coach? What does that even mean? Well, I have 15 years of retail experience. I've acquired 3 companies in the last 3 years, and then specifically with the curriculum, one of the things we do is we create a package of guiding principles made up of mission statement, key characteristics, critical actions, and core values. And these elements together define the culture, focus, and direction of a business. We align the entire team under a shared vision and a path forward, and I help you clarify these key areas so that everyone in the team understands where the business is going, who they need to be to get there, like what kind of employee they have to be, and what actions they need to be doing every day to move the mission forward. A lot of times, you have a business owner and you have this airplane of a brand of a business you own, and there's no coordinates. You have no idea where the business is going. You're just everyone's in the airplane together flying somewhere. No one knows why we're going there or how we're getting there. And that's where I jump in and say, okay, let's make this thing happen. We also guide you through a step-by-step process to build a brand script. It's a narrative tool that turns your customer into the hero and your product into a solution. Once we create the clear message, you'll know what to say in your emails, your lead generators, your sales pages and videos, and your customers will finally listen because you have something that's clear for them. I also help you make your customer the hero by implementing the Customer is the Hero framework. This will help your customer become more loyal, speak directly to their problems, and make them feel seen, understood, and valued. We also do a product audit worksheet where we help make sure items support the correct margin and cash flow, we generate fast returns, and tell a clear story about why your business is unique. And then I help you remove yourself from the day-to-day operations by implementing 5 meetings. This will help your team work proactively instead of reactively, create consistent processes, improve clarity of your business structure, and then create a scalable system for growth. Then we work on creating 4 checking accounts, which help with monthly operation costs, emergency funds, paying your taxes, and future investments, so you'll develop confidence and clarity in managing your cash flow. If you want to take a look at the trigger sheet, the funnels here, these are great referrals for me. Business owners of 5 to 50 employees, owners that want to sell their business in the next 2 to 3 years. So they have this asset, but if they leave the business is worth nothing because they're holding the whole thing together. So I'd love to talk to those individuals. Owners that will pass the business on to a family member. Businesses where the owner is the bottleneck. I think we could all probably raise our hand on that in some way, because I know I am the bottleneck, and that's why I have Jared. Other retail store owners, that's where I have 15 years of experience. Owners that want to expand, grow their business operations, but they feel stuck. And then business owners that are talking about retirement. My golden goose referrals, those that I get the best referrals from are CPAs, small business lenders, financial planners, and commercial insurance agents, because those are the individuals that are most likely to work with a small business owner, and they see the struggles and oftentimes talk to them about the struggles they're seeing in their business. So the triggers, if you hear someone say, I'm working harder than ever, but I'm not making more, or I can't step away because everything still depends on me, or I know my business should be more profitable, but I don't know how to fix it, the best way to do it is just to put them in touch with me through a group text, or have that QR code that's inside the book that will give them the business assessment to connect with me. So Chris from Main Street CEO, helping business owners work on their business, not
in their business.